Like I'm just looking at like weird. Hmm. Interesting. All right. We'll just kind of go with it, I guess. And we'll just get off this scene here. Um. Oh dear. All right. We'll fix this. And where are you hiding? There you are. Okay. Okay. Not bad. Yes. Not bad. Not great. Not terrible. It's 3.5. Whatever. Meme those. Haha. Um. Let's see if that actually works. Oh, okay, it did work. I guess. Okay, that's good. Ah, that could have been bad. Um, all right, let me check the audio here. Get this fired back up. Okay, good, good. Okay, wow. Pretty much air free on episode 4. For those of you at home curious, thanks for joining us. By the way, for those that are joining us, yeah, we're back in my grandma's apartment, 70s style furniture. Um, but still a half a black wall behind us, so we're okay. Um, but for those who's joining us, the past 2 broadcasts, I believe, have been through a program called OBS. So if you're into live streaming, you've probably heard the word. It stands for Open Broadcast Software. It's free software, and Streamlabs is free too. The basic program or app is free. I mean, they got a lot of add-ons I think you can do, but um, on that note, I mean, I prefer OBS because it's more professional grade. I can customize it a lot more. I'm a bit more familiar with it, but Streamlabs was pretty easy, newbie friendly. But Streamlabs does have something I have been looking into: Stream Elements and Streamlabs for merch. We're comparing them right now. A lot of requests for merch. Haven't forgotten, but we're kind of comparing them, saying, "Hey, what's going to be the best quality? What can we afford to do? Things like that." Um, so merch. If you had a design, like someone did show me a design I thought was pretty cool. I can't really remember it, but hey, if that was you, show me it again, and maybe I can work it up. If you have other designs, put them my way, send them my way. So that's updates on the software side here. Um, I am gonna have to get the door for a delivery, probably in 5 to 10 minutes. 6, 7 minutes. Ha 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 ha. Um, but uh, we big news. Big news. Obviously, this week, huge. Like in the tech world, I haven't seen this big of news since Steve Jobs died. Of course, now Steve Jobs created Apple. Right when he did that, he had Markula, I believe, and I think Markula was CEO number 2, maybe, or maybe he's one. But he had like 2 CEOs when he was with Apple, and then John Scully came along, CEO number 3, and John Scully was the guy that really pushed Steve Jobs out, which he was real thankful for. Steve Jobs did, comment on this years later about how good it was, how it was refreshing. His quote was, "Hey, it was a medicine that he had to take. He was a patient. He didn't like taking it, but he had to take it to get better." And if you go back to firsthand accounts of people that worked with Jobs between those 2 eras, they say he was a completely different person when he came back. Wasn't perfect, of course, by any means, but it was healthy for him because in that time span, he formed his own company called Next, and or maybe his next step, maybe his operating system was next step. Didn't do well, kind of flopped, but nice hardware, nice. It was a Apple when he came back took a lot of concepts and the OS from Next and really that really was beneficial too. And he formed Pixar. He or farmed it or bought it off. I think he bought Pixar off Lucasfilm, I believe. And of course now Pixar is Disney. And at one time, Jobs went back to Apple, and he was CEO of both Pixar and Apple. That was kind of a cool era. Pixar, he saved Pixar. He just like he saved Apple, he saved Pixar. Totally. Um, they would not have. They would have been nothing without Jobs. And that's not to downplay the contributions of Bob Iger in the Disney area. Of course, he gets a lot of hate for a lot of good reasons, actually. But he did good for Pixar when it came back and when they bought it. Um, who was a guy that Pixar dude? I can't remember. I don't remember his name. I don't remember his name. Should man. Pixar CEO with Jobs. He wasn't the CEO. Were they dual CEOs? Oh no, they weren't. I don't think. Oh, yay's me. We're on the saturated network. Yeah, of course we're not gonna find anything on that. Dude, get on my level. Just get on my level. Firefox. Pixar when Jobs came or came. Anyway, we had a meeting to fix my internet tonight. We were gonna swap the ISP, get some different equipment. That was the plan for today, and then I got lazy and exhausted, so dealing with this internet for another day. Um, but it's honestly gonna bug me if I don't remember the Pixar guy's name. I wish someone was in the chat and could tell me, hey, Jobs worked at Pixar with. Yeah, here it is. Let's just go to Wikipedia. Going to Wikipedia involves like an act of Congress these days, or I guess just an executive order. That's all it'd take. But just to have Trump's auto pin. But history. Yeah, okay, yeah. Pixar 79, Lucasfilm started. Um, that sentence was garbled as hell. Um, Pixar was started in 1979 by Lucasfilm. Lucasfilm created a few companies in order to make Star Wars. He had Industrial Light and Magic, he had Pixar, he had THX. Um, of course, all of that was at Skywalker Ranch, which now owned by Disney. I don't believe they use Skywalker Ranch much. I think George even lived at Skywalker Ranch, or I'm sure there are living quarters there for some time. Um, John Lasseter. Okay, yeah, John Lasseter. Oh God, can't forget John Lasseter. Um, is he dead now? I don't want to say he's dead now. He was hired to. He was already there. He was with Lucasfilm regionally. That's my drinks order and restock supply of the vittles here. Keep us powered in. Give me 2 seconds. We find the money. We pay the guy. And we have the drinks. Up again. We got. What do we got? We have a Coke. We have not that we need a caffeine dose. Oh, we got Coke Monster and milk. Coke, yeah, like I said, drink order. Coke Monster milk. Sounds like a movie name. Coke Monster milk. Coke Milk Monster. Milk Coke Monster. Monster Coke milk. I don't know. Something. There's something there. Anyway, so why are we talking about Apple? Why does this matter? Because again, John Scully came, booted Jobs. John Scully was probably a younger audience here doesn't know this, but Jobs said, "Hey, come work for me, be the CEO. Um, do you want to keep working for Pepsi all your life and sell sugar water?" That's a quote verbatim, basically. And so John came, and then they had their differences, and even they were creating after the Apple II and Apple III. There was an Apple III that got rebranded as an Apple II at one point, even like Apple II Max or something. Um, But after the Apple III, they went to work on the Macintosh, which is the one that really took off and succeeded. But Jobs, they kicked him off the project, and he was working on the Lisa, the computer named Lisa, named after his daughter from another woman, who he didn't claim. He didn't claim parentage for a long time. There was like court stuff over and whatever, and then he finally accepted her as his daughter and admitted it publicly, whatever. So again, he wasn't always the guy who made the right decisions. A lot of it's overblown. A lot of his assholeness that people would like to, or rudeness, whatever. A lot of it's overblown. Like he didn't actually like. Did he actually fire people in the elevator for like if you're wearing the wrong color shirt or something? I forgot the story I heard. No, I don't. I don't believe that. Maybe it happened, but he was relentless. He could be an asshole just because he didn't have time. The guy literally was fighting cancer and could die at any time since 2003, I think. Um, the mid 2000s until he died in like what was it 2010, 2011. So he didn't have time for this nonsense that most organizations have to deal with. That's what makes Apple great. That's why they are great, and that's why they have a great new guy coming in on September 1st, John Turnus. Um i it was one of my favorite discussions I like having with people, friends, coworkers, whatever, looking at Apple's leadership board, who's likely to succeed. And we know it's someone coming from within Apple, because Apple has an Apple University inside the Apple Park. Um, and that Apple University just trains Apple employees on the cultural, the vision. It's like if you watch Severance, it's like oh, I never thought about this before. It's like Severance, where they have like the statue of Keeg or whatever that guy's name, Keegan or whatever. Here, Kieer, I believe. And they have like a institutional philosophy, and he's worshipped as a god in the TV show, basically. Um, but they have Apple University to try and preserve the values. How do we get here? How do we keep going? And everyone unanimously agrees John Turner is an amazing guy. I picked him second. I truly thought it was going to be uh, Craig Craig Federighi. Um, and Federighi and we exchanged email correspondence a few times, on just some issues with Apple, or Mac stuff, related stuff. He's a really nice guy, but he's a software guy, and they really decided, and they went the hardware route and promoted the hardware guy, which is software needs help in Apple. They need to fix their software. Um, Not blaming Federighi or anything, but um, when Turnus steps in on September 1st, he has like the only two jobs that may or may not be larger than this in the entire world is President of the United States, and the Pope. Ironically, they're both going at it these days. We can talk about that later, but like we can segue there. We hold that, pause that segue, and just stash it over here. I'm gonna bank my segues up, and we're gonna bring the segues back as we need them. Okay, Pope and Trump. Boom, boom. You stay there by the black sack. Oh, you're back. The black sack is back. I don't know if you can see it. See, the mystery sack is back. That rhymes. Mystery sack is back. And now it's gone. Anyway, yeah, we're not gonna show it. I'm not gonna show. I'm not gonna show them. It's not ready. It's ready, but it was ready. That's a good hint. It is something that was ready, but is no longer ready. And when it is ready, this is a riddle. Okay, so what is in the sack is something that was ready for years. It's existed. And now, when you see the sack next time or the time after, it may be empty. And then the third time after that, Yeah, third time. The third time is gonna be full again. And on the fourth viewing, you get to stick with me through like 4 or 5 more episodes. Weeks. Okay, I should say weeks. It's 4 or 5 weeks. Um, be flat out on this. The fourth or fifth week after this is going to be full of something that is ready again. And that's all the hints I'm going to give. I told too much already. Um, but yeah, Apple. He has the biggest job, John Turnus. The second largest company in the world. Sometimes it's three. They swap between it's either them and Microsoft or someone like that or AMD. I can't remember. But Nvidia is still top, like 4.67 trillion maybe when I last looked. I don't remember. But Apple's right up there, of course. And it is not even about the valuation. It's about how you're changing the world. The things you're doing for everyday people like me. My life would be hell without Apple. I'm doing things and I'm able to be an artist because of Apple. And it's just amazing. That was the original vision. The music that Steve Jobs in the early days with the iPod, he was big on the iPod. That had come first, right after like the iMacs, because music saves lives, and it does. And that's why Apple went after the Beatles catalog or the getting the rights to use the Beatles at all their keynotes if they wanted to. Um, and fun fact about that, this will segue we can use right now. Um, the Beatles rights owners, I don't know if it was a studio record holder, I think is the name, proper term. They sued Apple because they're Apple Records, and they sued Apple Computer because of the name. Um, Obviously, these things got resolved, but money has a way of doing that. So that's the big news of the week. It shocked me. I knew it was coming. Um, Again, my friend, my buddy, that like conference hops all around the world. The quantum cloud computing guy I know. He didn't tell me this, but I knew it was coming because of all the other chatter I hear from some other people and some other sources that are public, actually, like Mark Gurman, um, deciphering and judging the validity of, okay, I think this guy's 80% sure. But then again, other people I heard was it was coming down the pipe pretty quickly. And I was kind of surprised, but I get why they didn't do it on Apple Day. Um, but big year for Apple. Got the MacBook Neo. Everyone in the US calls it a $500 computer because it's a $600 computer plus tax, depending on the where you buy it. But it's a $500 computer because you get the education discount. Everyone can get it. You should be ethical. You should actually be an educator like myself and do not abuse it because Apple has had this program for 20 years, and we don't want them to get rid of it. But they don't ask for proof of anything. You're a student, we trust you. $100 off, $500 MacBook now. Um, so it is. It'll be fun. Uh, I believe I read an article today about what his potential vision is, what potentially could happen. Obviously, no one knows. It's going to take years to figure out. He's going to have to get into that role for a year or two. Products out. Last time I checked, products at Apple were in development 4 to 5 years before they actually reach us. So they're working on iPhones 3 years away from now, maybe even more now. Um, so and that was his hand. He had hand in hardware. He was a hardware guy. So I think what will look to see is more stuff from Vision Pro, uh, getting that cost down, getting a second iteration, a cheaper iteration of that. I think that should logically be the next thing. A wireless version of the HomePod where you don't have to plug it in, rechargeable. I mean, why not? Where is this? Why? You have a HomePod Minis. You killed the first HomePod, brought the HomePod back, and in all that time, you never could do a recharge. But for 1,000, for one yes, there's 1,000 no's at Apple. So they're saying no for a reason. They're not doing it for a reason. And Tim Cook is like the supply chain master. I'll trust him. But gotta do something. Mac Pro is dead, probably officially now because of the studio. Probably a smart move. Kind of sad. Studio does need more expandability, I think, just for the true pros. Like, hey, just throw a couple extra slots on there so we can slap some more PCIe cards on there. NVM2 slots, whatever, NVMe M2, U2, whatever slot you want for the pros. Because I do talk about the pros, and the pros are mourning these losses really big. But you can't obtain these things. You can't buy a Studio or a Mac, uh, a minis if you wanted to right now. They're sold out everywhere. Uh, the, from what I understand, I mean that's not probably accurate. I mean, you probably can get them, but I saw photos of the AI. Didn't it? The AI data centers with like thousands of these machines. Data centers are just eating up Apple's machines right now, just because. Like I'm looking at like a building full of Mac Minis and Mac Studios, um, because AI needs it. Because AI needs it, and we need it, and we need AI in our lives for some reason. Because if you read here's the reason. Let's bring in this little segue here that I'm ripping off because I'm just angry at this thing. The Palantir memo that came out a few days ago that leaked. Um, it's like Project 2025, but worse somehow. Really worse ish, in my opinion. Dystopian, and I haven't followed it too religiously, so maybe this thing is not a real thing. Maybe it's a fake leak. I hope so, but sounds right up Palantir's alley. You look at the Palantir CEO and how he talks and how the Nvidia CEO talk. Basically, they just want to have total dystopian AI doing everything for us and killing people for us. They want AI drones with the ability, the capacity, and the authority from the U.S. government to actually say, "Oh, this matches, boom, fire missile," without having any human intervention. That's that on the surface level is scary, and this is what they said they want to get to. Um, Further down in that memo is talking about suppressing the ruling classes, basically, and a lot of subtext. You can get that from a lot of the subtext, even where it doesn't talk about this directly, um, and basically how to keep power and how to keep money and AIs away. That was my brief skimming summary of it. Um, but it's not good. Not good. Not good Palantir memo. Not good week for this. So I think that those two news things dropped at the same time, the Apple news and the Palantir memo. So I think it got kind of lost. I mean, you have world leaders that are talking about Tim Cook stepping down, and they're offering congratulations and words of endearment, whatever. Our my glorious leader, he made a long True Social post, and yes, I'm on True Social. And in the middle of the post, like halfway down, because I had to check it, I'd go actually on my app, on my account, check it, make sure that this he did post it because I saw in a comment on Reddit, and I'm like, no way, no way he said this, no way. Like you think you get in that mentality where okay, I'm never going to be surprised at what Trump says, never. But he said, and I quote, yeah, I got has to be quoted verbatim. Uh, what did he say here? My dear leader said what? Bum, 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 bum. Okay, again, half is a very long post. So halfway down, he said, "When I got the call, I'm sorry, I can't do this. I can't do Trump voice. I should really work on that. When I got the call, when I got the call, I said, "Wow, it's Tim Apple, Cook, Cook in parentheses exclamation point, Cook. I don't know, how do you do parentheses and exclamation point together? Like how do you do that? Like Cook, Cook, Cook." Like a villain entering the scene. I've never seen parentheses in, or I mean, like, yeah, parentheses with an exclamation point inside them. I don't know how to read this. I'm going to work on that with my Trump voice next time. This guy, every layer of this is a nice juicy cake. Okay, let's go back to top. When I got the call, I said, "Wow, it's Tim Apple, Cook, Cook calling. How big is that? I was very impressed with myself to have the head of Apple. And you think, okay, this is going on a nice little train here. You think, okay, he's putting together logical words, new punctuation combinations that are interesting, but logical words. He's on. He's going to say something good, maybe ish. I was very impressed with myself. I was yeah, I was very impressed with myself. I had to reread that. I'm like, did he really say that? To have the head of Apple calling to kiss my ass. I'm sorry, I didn't say it with enough the Trump inflection. He didn't say it like that. He didn't write it like that. He wrote, I was very impressed with myself. People, to tell me all the time, Donald, you're an impressive person. I got a lot, the best people, and Tim Apple called me, put a very nice phone book phone. They have these phones. They have the phones out there, the very best phones. They tell me all the time, Apple, you got the very best phones. But the Trump phone. And hey, this is the thing. The Trump phone too got updated last week. Oh my God, yeah, check that out. That's funny. There is a Trump phone. No one has it. It hasn't shipped. It's a money grab, theft, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, he does have a Trump phone, and it is gold. I was very impressed with myself to have the head of Apple calling to kiss my ass. Anyway, he explained the problem, blah, 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 blah. He did have some kind words. He said this guy's an amazing manager and leader. He makes these back himself. He makes these calls to me. I help him out, but not all. Where? Oh my God! I wasn't gonna do a Danny reads Trump stuff, but well, it's a future segment we're working on. But like, and it's not just that. We're working. We're really shopping this one out. But true social Trump post. Oh, there it is. Here we go. It's loading. It's a little. It's a little router that could. A little internet modem router. I believe in you. I'm watching it. Like I'm watching the blinking light pattern to make sure. Yeah, that green light should stay solid. Hmm? There we go. It's solid green light. We're not obviously broadcasting from that network. Oh dear me. This. Hmm. Okay. That's a better. Oh, okay. This website uses cookies. Blah blah blah. We'll give Trump a cookie. Probably shouldn't have. We'll go back and undo that. Oh yeah. Oh my God, it's a long post. 1973 applies. For a minute, I thought, don't tell me that has like a critical year, like in 1778 or something, or 1776, or I can't get the year right anymore. 1776, we signed the Declaration of Independence. I that's how mentally I'm just like, because one of these chuckle nuts got the year wrong recently. What do they do? It was like a password they set with the wrong year, maybe. Maybe it's the FBI hack. I don't know, but everything happens. Everything happens at such jarring speed. I can't watch the nightly news recaps. I wake up here. America wakes up like 7 hours after me. And between those 7 hours, before until there's two, you can vote on them on the best ones, and they get portion of the money. And like I don't. I'm finding a way. I'm working out this. I'm workshopping this idea on how to make money off of live comments on YouTube because some of them are funny, really funny. When he was like, when he took this, yeah, when he's talking, it's my new dinner entertainment. I watched it during dinner. Um, no, 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 I don't want sports betting. I want the what's that one that can get in trouble? It's just check the news. Start with a P. Plankton. It doesn't sound right. Sounds right, but not right. Right. Well, these days people are betting on the Strait of Hormuz. Is it going to be open or closed? Is the stock market going to be up or down? You can bet on just any random events. I don't think it's an American company. I think how it's kind of they're skirting it here, but like research, betting company, events, Hormuz online. Um. Oh, okay, here it is. Poly Market. Yeah, I knew it started with a P. Poly Market. I'm gonna make like a Poly Market ish type thing with YouTube live comments for comedy. Yeah, we're gonna do this. I'm just gotta figure out the logistics and how it's gonna work, But like we're working on it. We're workshopping it. But I forgot what we segue. We put a segue over there. We're gonna get back to it, but we're not getting back to it because I forgot the segue. Trump has that effect on us as an American. Like I said, I have to get my news live now, and I usually have to get it from France 24 or Deutsche Welle or BBC News or Sky News. Even I don't like Sky News, but sometimes because like the American programs, they just go to like like sometimes they're just doing like a documentary, and sometimes they tune in and like they're talking about murder mystery. And like I don't want that. I want news. Um, I know something's happening. It's Trump. Man doesn't sleep. He just does things. And Cash Patel, Cash Patel was in the background of this press conference recently. And to be fair, they did both of them made good points about the issues they were asked, these questions, but they also attached to those good points, they attached some like propaganda and alternative facts were thrown in there, and which are lies, by the way. The word alternative facts did not exist, or this word combination, this phrase, was created purely because of Trump. Because we can't say lies, we have to say alternative facts. I think Spicy, was it Sean Spicer, the dude that created that? God, I miss Sean Spicer. I miss him so much. I wonder if he met this Pope. Sean Spicer at the time was like the only Catholic working for Trump back in 2021 or 2016, 2018. Sorry, this. And they went to the Vatican. They took a trip. Spicer, I believe, went with him. And Donald Trump said, "No, you don't get to meet the Pope." And he's the only Catholic with him. Evilness, just why pettiness, evilness. I don't know, but like, he and got it from Trump. He gets it from his father. Is definitely some a behavior he learned from Fred Trump. You read about what he did to the immigrants and the minority communities who were trying to rent or were renting at the time. Uh, yeah, monkey see, monkey do. And Fred Trump was someone. Leave it at that. But um, all right. So gaming wise, where is it? It's off screen here. We're gonna take a 2 second break. I'm gonna pour myself a drink here. Don't want my mouth going dry. And I'm gonna grab the gaming news I got for you. You'll like it. I like it, and it's going to enable us to live stream next episode potentially. I mean, it will. We will. But that's gonna take a little testing and finessing. That kind of rhymes ish. Eminem would make testing and finessing rhyme. He'd go, I'm testing and finessing and yeah, there we go. It's too easy. Um, 1 second. We'll be back after a short intermission. I saw the sign and it opened up my eyes. Oh man, too much fizz. I thought I had. They needed. Oh, I'm not gonna talk about that. That idea on the live stream. Oh, that's $1 million idea. I'm not gonna lose money on that. You guys are gonna copy me. Steal my idea. Mm. Looking for the cup. I'm the gaming device. Bacon not stirred. The name is Bond. someday I want to see Bond be a savage. I'll write that into my Bond movie. I'm writing a screenplay for two Bond movies from now called Angel, 007 Angel. And you're gonna see a scene in a Bond movie 10 years from now, and Bond just gonna say, "Don't shake it, don't stir it, just leave it as is, and just be a complete savage." Um, no, we just got Coke, the drinking Coke. Um, but we got Lenovo Legion Go too, first gen Legion Go. Gassed all the time. Hey, is this a Switch? Is it a Switch? No, it's Switch like, but it's a PC. It's a gaming PC in the form factor of a Switch. There were initially I said, "Hey, we're getting PS5 is coming. It's in the way on the way." I scratched that because prices went up, and for the same price, I was able to get either this or $100 less. I could have got a Steam Deck OG. Not OLED. Neither of them. Neither of my options were OLED. Like neither screen had OLED, but this has a bigger screen, the biggest of all the devices like it, and a good screen, and 120, 144 hertz, I think, around that. Um, does not have VRR on the screen, but I'm pretty sure it can output the VRR. Okay. Um, I mean, why wouldn't it be able to? Well, I mean, technically, yeah, it'd have to have support for that, but mm, um, so the Steam Deck, I did not want. The only reason I wanted the Steam Deck was because okay, it's Steam, but also because Steam OS. But I can put a Steam OS on here. Um, this has detachable controllers, and the Steam Deck doesn't. And that's like neither none of the three decks, two um or the yeah the two or three decks I guess they're on. I don't know now, but like they don't have detachable controllers, which is like a deal killer for me instantly. Um, it's the first time I've actually done it, but yeah, pretty easy. So um, but the controllers have Hall effect. They're Hall effect because my main controller, my 8-bit dual 3 mode ultimate Xbox Bluetooth PC controller, that one has Hall effects and it's a joy. It's the best controller I've ever used. And I've had Elites. I've had the official Xbox Elite 1 and 2, I think. I don't have. I didn't have the second one. I had the first one a couple times actually. The second one had like a really bad flaw. Like it was like manufacturing defect I refused to participate with. Um, but you got two buttons on the back, on the left side. The trigger is the second best thing. Okay, you have the Hall effect. The Hall effect. Our camera's normally over here, now it's over here. But and so you're not going to get that stick drift. You probably like you won't get stick drift with Hall effects. Um, super super fast, highly adjustable triggers. I dare say they're more adjustable and better triggers than my 8-bit Duke controller. Even love them, but yeah, I don't play in handheld. I never didn't want to, like because again I have my own controller. I'll just prop this up, stand it there, and it's like a portable PC, a small laptop without the keyboard. And they make keyboards, so I could do that too if I wanted. Not gonna do that. We're getting a gaming keyboard and gaming mouse soon, but yeah, it's a great device. It's handled everything I've thrown at it. No major issues. A few issues we had, we got them taken care of. I kept Windows 11 on it here just because no point in throwing SteamOS on it just because like I do want to run some Windows programs, do work on it, actual work and stuff like that. Adobe work, stuff like this. So live stream stuff, Uh, but yeah, So you see the indicator light is blue right now. That's because we're just in eco-friendly mode. Like, um, we want to change that. We have this really nice utility here that pops up on one of the sides, and it lets us. It's Lenovo built a few layers on top of Windows OS. Um, they're apps basically, but look like layers kind of to the. And I can tell it, hey, I want performance mode. Button turns red. I can control the fan speed, whatever, custom full control, and I can turn on this balance mode. Now we have white. Um, so uh, eco back to eco mode. We got blue. So um, yeah, uh, these days, what I've been playing. Obviously, Gears 5. Like you knew that was like the first game I was getting. Gears 5 and Counter Strike. Boom. That's all I need. All any true esports gamer needs to survive. Two games. Two games. If you're gonna get heavy in esports, get sponsored like we're trying to do and everything, you need Counter Strike for the sponsors, the tournaments and stuff. But you also need a funner one, a better one, a more challenging game called Gears of War. When they have tournaments for it, not big things, it's not a big game. Of course, it's lower tier. Yeah, it wasn't even in tier when I checked the tiers. But there are tournaments, and people get serious about it. And now it's on PlayStation. People are going to be more serious about it. Um, which I haven't confirmed that E-Day is coming for PlayStation. I just kind of assumed it was because it is, or yeah, E-Day would be the next one coming out in the fall, likely. Again, that Microsoft Direct event is on June 7th, I believe. Tune into that event. All the news, release date, everything is going to be there. Um, all indications, everything I'm hearing is, and in these are original team members working on this in some cases. Certainly, people left over from Gears 5 are there. Um, all everything's pointing to, hey, this is going to be mechanically a Gears game. It's going to be solid, built on the Unreal Engine 5. Um, and these are the guys that made the Unreal Engine originally, like the Epic, because you had Epic with Unreal. Epic then had Gears. Not now, Epic doesn't have Gears anymore. I get that, but that culture, like that Apple culture, that's still ingrained with the Coalition. The Coalition takes care of the players and their games. Now, plot wise, like I don't do single player. I don't concern myself with the plot in there on these games. Um, that's gonna be a weakness. Probably we're gonna probably have this if we have a weakness. That's where it's gonna be. Um, now, we so you know who signing a text. I'm on the live stream, Steam, whatever. Oh, oh, interesting. Uh-huh, uh-huh. Yeah, fun times. Great. This is good news. All right. I'll just make sure these messages send because this is using the congested network. I had to throw it over by the window to get better signal. Last night I threw it over by the window and the window was open. And the phone was unlocked. And I see my phone down 4 or 5. Oh no, it went down about 6 stories because there's 2 basement levels or whatever. Um, and perfect. The Galaxy S25, sorry, Galaxy A25 5G. Where's it the 26? It's not the one with the always on display, which if I'd known that, I would have made a different decision. But 'cause it does this really infuriating thing. And I've jiggled all the settings I can. When I get a notification and the screen is locked, it doesn't pop up. The screen doesn't light up. It just goes beep or it goes vibrate or whatever. I had to physically check the notification by unlocking the phone, pulling up, like, okay, now I have to wake the screen. The screen should, in my opinion, like on iPhone, the screen should wake when I get notifications. But nah, there wasn't a scratch on this dude. This case was really good. I was shocked. To his credit, it didn't let face up, or face down. Sorry, face up. I was doing found, but it was like this. But that's how I knew. I'm like, I'm looking at them and like, hmm, hmm. I'm looking. There's no cracks. I'm like, hey, dude, just wait. Hang on. I'm coming. I'm coming. And so then I had to jump over the wall. Or I started to jump over the wall because that area of the basement, that sub level of my apartment complex, has a locked gate because the it's not anyone sleeping. Like it's like there's no apartment down there. There is, but it's an office, someone's office. But I didn't need to get breaking in his office. I just need to get access to his backyard, basically. And so I'm getting ready to jump over because I don't got time for this. I'm working on stuff, and the security guard is saying his kid, one of the kids, and got the keys, and we got me in. Because I was like, I was got to jump back over the fence, which hey, army training, I was gonna do it, but like I was looking forward to it because they were worried that I was gonna break my leg jumping down. But I trained in the army how to go down a wall without breaking my leg. It wasn't even a high wall, really, ish 9 foot wall. But so we're gonna toss it over here so maybe we get better signal. Um, Stupid pillows. Okay, so we are returning to Counter Strike. That's number one. Of course, we have to get ranked. We have to get things. We have to get that ball rolling, and it's a thing where I'm gonna have to make my own team. I don't have a rank, so I played it a lot, but I didn't do ranked stuff. So it's about forming my own team. Essentially, is what I'm trying to do. And we're gonna do it if we want. Um, Other games I got Halo Infinite, just because plays well on almost every console you can imagine, every platform, PC, everything. And it's fun. It can be fun. Multiplayer on that's really good, actually. Uh, Gears, Counter Strike, Halo. Hey, I got Doom 64. OMG, I was playing Doom like the original. Not, I think 64 might have been Doom for the Nintendo 64, but it's basically the original Doom. Probably limited because that version did have limits, I believe, compared to the PlayStation one. Less levels, less music. I don't know. I might be misremembering, but anyway, I have a really classic-ish version of Doom on here. Um, my dad had the original in a box, probably still does, maybe. Um, from back in the PC days, 1997. That came out alongside Quake and all that stuff. We had it all. So going back to that was fun. I'm downloading these days my next first try game video you're gonna see posted, live stream or whatever. It's going to be a game called Where Winds Meet. Where Winds Meet. A lot of people actually I talked to actually had heard of this game. I didn't. I don't do non triple 5A stuff. I do the big games. I don't do these small things because I go where the money is for tournaments. But it looks really good, and the reviews are amazing. I never read a review like this. The guy said they should be charging for this. It's a free game. Why are they not charging for it? Now it is a 120 gigabyte download, which is why I'm waiting for my new network to finish installing to play this game. But yeah, it'll be fun. Looking forward to that. Um, all right, so double. There was some news about 007 First Light, like the ending leaked, I think, or something. Maybe the game's even out, or yeah. I want to play First Light. I want to give it a shot. When's it come out? And it doesn't have multiplayer. It's blasphemous. Who made this decision? I want to wrap this hookah hose around their head and not strangle them to death, but like I want to like send a message like, hey, 007s need multiplayer. And since we last spoke, I did uh, go back and look at some other 007 games I didn't even know about existed based on movies. Of which one was it? I don't know. There was like Quantum of Souls maybe had one or something. But anyway, I didn't. These games sucked, so I didn't even know about them. But Where Winds Meet looks really good. I wanted something open world with a little bit of a co-op or a little bit of a. My buddy runs Linux. He runs Arch, so we wanted to find a game that we could both play together, and we wound up on this. There is a multiplayer-ish component to it. Like for raids as an example, I think you can do that. But the setting was really intriguing. Like it's ancient China, as I recall, somewhere definitely in Asia, and it's open world. Graphics are really good for 120 gigabyte game. Should be good, but graphics wise, anyway. Oh, Resident Evil that is on our radar. Requiem. I do have a list of games I made today. We're going to get Resident Evil. We have to do Resident Evil. I read some good and bad about it. So, but at the end of the day, it's Resident Evil. You gotta play it. You gotta try it. Give it a shot. So Requiem, Battlefield 6, of course, we're gonna get that loaded up, and then Rust. I have been potentially convinced to either try. If I'm gonna do Rust, I might as well do Arc because my friend and I we wanted to kind of get into Arc. I know what it's about. I watched the guy I bought this from, the Legion Guild. I bought it used. It was on Facebook Marketplace Cairo. There was a one Legion Guild and there was one Steam Deck. And I sent like 30 messages about PS5s, and then I just said, "No, what? I'm just gonna. We're doing the go." Um, and he was playing Arc. He was big into Arc, and he actually had an Xbox, which was rare for Egypt. Come with his place or whatever, and he got me and he sold me on Arc. But I looked at it, and I looked at the cost associated with it, and it's okay. I'm just waiting for payday and take my game budget and spend it a little bit on that. Um, but that actually, I'm excited for that. But I want Battlefield. I really want Battlefield because I do miss a good shooter, controller based ish shooter that because Counter Strike can do controller, and I don't have a gaming PC keyboard right now and mouse. I need to get the gaming that equipment. So while I wait for the mechanical keyboard and the gaming mouse to arrive, I'd like to have a something in Battlefield. I feel like probably has better controller support than Counter Strike, which isn't known for that at all. Um, yeah. So we have like it. Last time I saw you, we were watching the Artemis launch, Artemis 2. It did land. I was going to try and stream a landing, but I was on vacation. I was out of the city on the beach. Um, and I was not taking away my beach time to do live streaming. Not at that point in my career. Um, but at the same time, we were running around acquiring gear, doing some software updates, and working on getting a studio set up. We were doing things we have been working for you. We here for you. Succession reference. And if you don't know that reference, you have to watch Succession. Like in all time greatest TV shows, if I make a top five list right now, I don't know if I can do top five. I can maybe do top 10. But okay, starting at number one, Game of Thrones. Despite what happened, Game of Thrones. I mean, even about the later seasons, it's worth it just to do one watch. You're only going to want to watch it one time, but you have to. Game of Thrones for all mankind, which I made a post on my Insta, my personal Insta about that. Don't look at that post because it spoils things. But we're on episode 4 now. For All Mankind. They come out on Fridays, so in a couple days we'll get a new episode 4, I believe, for that. Um, and so you have Game of Thrones, For All Mankind. Then you have Succession. Succession. That's a series that really needs a sequel. Like they're making like 100 million Game of Thrones sequels. They need to do a Succession sequel. Oh my god, that'd be amazing. And of course, the idea has been floated. I forgot what the actor said about that, the showrunner, but they have those discussions are of course happening and have happened. And it's just one thing that came back was Scrubs. This year's Scrubs, I think, is on episode. They might even be done with the Scrubs season. I know. I want to say they're halfway through it. No, they're done. They're done. I think there's 9 and 10 came out, or it was just coming out soon. Scrubs, I got into a little bit, but it's really good. For sure, it deserved all the praise and all the Emmys it's going to get. Scrubs 2026 is worth it. Because Scrubs, the other one, the original series back in, God, what was it? Mid 2000s, late 2000s, or something like that. It would have been in my top 10. I don't normally put comedy stuff up there, but like The Good Place. Good Place is in my top 10. I can work from the bottom now a little bit and put the comedies up there. The Good Place, Scrubs. One that no one ever heard about um, has Michael Douglas in it, and it has a Russian name, so I'm gonna butcher it. Just like they're butchering the Ukrainians, so I'm gonna butcher this Russian name. The Kempinski. No, it's longer than Kempinski. Something method. The blank method started with a K. Um, Shockingly good. It's like only like 2 seasons long. Um, Really, really good drama wise. Had enough comedy sprinkled in there. Easy watch. Michael Douglas. Michael Doug La. Oh, helps if I turn the Wi-Fi on. Oh, what was he in? Okay, IMDb. There's the Kominsky method. Um, Highly rated. 3 seasons. Okay, they got 3 seasons. It came out right during the pandemic era, so it was really nice to watch during the pandemic. 2018 and 2021. Um, Amazing show. I put that maybe around 5 or 6. So you have 1 and 2. You have Game of Thrones, Succession, Billions. Maybe I could put Billions in there at. I don't know if I wouldn't put Billions at 4, but Billions could be around 4, or let's put Billions at 5 and put the Kaminsky method, I'd say, at 4. The Good Place, um, 7, just because of the comedy. 3, I'd probably put Queen's Gambit. I know it's a miniseries, limited series, whatever. Gotta put it. Oh no, now we have to bump everything down a bit. 'Cause I forgot about Black Mirror. Yeah, so bump everything down from put Black Mirror at 3 and bump everything else down. It's got Game of Thrones, Succession, Black Mirror, The Queen's Gambit, the Kaminsky Method. Then you had the Good Place. Could I put Scrubs? I don't put Scrubs in there. If I put Scrubs in there, I have to put Blue Mountain Valley High or Blue Mountain State. Blue Mountain State, amazing, funny, great show. But it's a comedy, and I don't really. It doesn't attach me. It doesn't reach me emotionally enough. I go for more for the emotional stuff. And then you say, okay, Game of Thrones. Well, it had these moments where you could, and you had to, it was Game of Thrones. I don't need to defend Game of Thrones, but Um, Succession, yeah, dark humor. Oh my god. Uh, The Boys. I know a lot of people are asking why do I not have The Boys on a list or where would they rank? And they'd have to come in at 8 or 9. Only for the reason why, okay, it's an amazing show. I just haven't got into yet because I kind of lost track around season 3 of what was going on. I got distracted, and to make a full rating and opinion, I really have to see the whole thing. And it begs the question: why did I get distracted? What was a disconnect here in the writing that I missed something? Like I missed an episode. Is what it felt like. Um, but I want to reevaluate the boys with a new season. Are they done? No, they got one season coming out. The boys. Episodes. All right, so that the boys that season I can get on that. Episodes are already out for the new season of the boys, which is why it's been hitting my social media. That's not the button I clicked on. Awards. Yeah, lots of awards. It's a good show. Back to episodes. Back to clicking on the right button. Okay, so season 5 started on April 8th. They did that dual release 2 episodes on April 8th. Then we had the 15th and the 22nd, which is today. Oof. I might know what I'm doing after here. I'm gonna binge watch me some boys. Hmm. Yeah. Jamie, cue up the boys. Yeah, yeah, we're doing this. Yeah, season 5, episodes 1 through 4. 4 might not be out yet, depending on what time, whether they're going off Pacific time or when they release. I don't know, but like, might have to wait on that. Might be an after work thing tomorrow, but be a hell of a weekend. Binge watching some boys, um, and we'll no, oh yeah, I get it, yeah. All right, so got my team back there just trying to figure out what they were doing. Taking off a door hinge to try and take off the door to get a project. Again, we're trying to make a studio and trying to finagle things into the studio room. Yeah. All right. Well, I don't believe there's much left to talk about. Um, but just to satisfy all our curiosities, leave no questions unanswered from your fountain of wisdom here. Um, James Bond games. Not GSM. James Bond games. Oof. Yeah, there's a lot actually that I didn't remember for good reasons. They sucked. And it's really weird. Like they came out hitting strong. Like, okay, you had what? No way. They had games before GoldenEye even. Oh my god. These had to be like arcade releases or something. A text adventure. Ugh. You want to play a James Bond game that's text based, which is a thing now. I almost got in a text based thing earlier today. That looked intriguing. I'm like, Danny, don't do it. Don't do it. But it intrigued me. A horizontal side-scrolling shooter just called James Bond 007 in 1984. Then you had two A View to a Kill games. The two separate games. The second game is a text-based adventure for the Macintosh, Apple II, and Microsoft DOS. Um, reasons why we're not playing these games. Then you had Goldfinger, which doesn't have a hyperlink. Like, why can't I click Goldfinger? What's up with that game? Ugh, yeah, yeah, Habibi. Um, we closed everything. Now we got it open again. But what happened? Okay, go back, go back. Electronic. Okay. Oh, this was a Nintendo era. Oh, okay. No, 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 no. That was earlier. Sorry, early era. No, no, no information on that Goldfinger game. Or was it a game? I don't know. Yeah, Living Daylights, Live and Let Die, License to Kill. Okay, so we're going off the movies. Got Goldfinger, everything, you know. Um, but poorly received. Living Daylights. I feel like I need to reenact. What's that guy's name in Skyfall? When he's interviewing Bond, like interrogating him. Um, Starts with an S. Skyfall. Who was that guy that started with an S? Silva. Yeah, Raul Silva. Javier Bardem's one of my favorite actors. BT Dubs. Man, that had a banger cast. Ah, you get Judy Dench and Ralph Fiennes in the same movie. Fiennes, however you say his name, I don't know. Bernice, he must be French. Yeah, she's French. Um, so yeah, what we're seeing here is a pattern of suck games before Nintendo and came along and said, "Hey, let's make some decent games." Oh my God, we're not gonna click all these. I'm not gonna go through all these. Vertical scrolling shooter, blah blah blah. Basically, until you got the GoldenEye in 1997, 15 years later, they figured out, oh, we can actually make a proper game now because we have the hardware to do it, of course, now with the N64. Then you had one, James Bond, the Duel. Like, what? What? Oh, for the Sega Mega Drive. Like, what? It's like, that might actually be interesting, but like, for sure, none of these are going to be like GoldenEye because GoldenEye set the standard. That's why we have games like Battlefield 6 and Call of Duty and Fortnite because GoldenEye paved the way. But after GoldenEye, the games I missed after GoldenEye was one called James Bond 007 a year later. Like, what? Uh, oh, what is this? Oh, it's on the Game Boy. That's why. Okay, fair enough. I won't dog on that too much. But like, then you had to get more movie-based games. Tomorrow Never Dies, World's Not Enough. These are again big ones I wish I played. Would like to go back and play actually because I did touch them. 007 Racing. Then where I got back onto it was the non-movie based games, Agent Under Fire and Nightfire. Actually, as I recall, Agent Under Fire kind of tracked with like one of the movies. I thought, yeah, and this was during that BMW era, which I hated. Everyone loves that one silver BMW that he drives through the parking garage and jumps into like another building. BMWs are ugly cars. They always have been ugly cars. And the sedan model is even uglier and is a boring gray color. Gray only looks good on Aston Martins. Um, Aust, Austin Martin. Um, so yeah, I didn't like that era of games really ish for that reason. But then they tried Everything or Nothing was a good game, amazing game. No multiplayer, but they came out with GoldenEye Rogue Agent, which had an interesting multiplayer. It sucked everywhere else. Poorly rated game, but interesting multiplayer. Then for some reason, I can't remember why, we went back to Russia with Love. Oh, it was a rights issue because Daniel Craig wasn't in there at the time, and Pierce Brosnan strictly controlled the rights to his image. I think Rare or someone, even when Rare came back, I think like Nintendo bought Rare, but there was an issue there getting the rights to the games, even in GoldenEye in particular. So they tried to do this thing and with Sean Connery game, and then they come back to James Bond GoldenEye re-release the actual game. And then they did like three different versions of the remake of GoldenEye. They had one with Craig, and on the was it the Wii? Yeah, the Wii. Actually, probably all those had Craig, but then they had the actual GoldenEye was put on Xbox Live, Xbox Game Pass, the original GoldenEye with Pierce Brosnan, his image, his face and likeness, um, which is so fun to play. I need to download that one. That's why I got it. I gotta get that one. Bloodstone, I heard was a good game, right? I can't remember what was the reception on that. Receptions. Yeah, it took hits on it. The reviewers didn't like the plot. Basically, it's the storyline. Um, but it's out there. Um, that brings us to now. After 14 years, we finally get a new 007 game. Previously, we went 4 years without a game. Yeah, 4 years without a game. That was back in '93 to '97 when they were getting their act together. But why are some of these? Oh, I see. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, my headphones are dying, so I'm out of content to talk about tonight. Watch, I'm gonna log off and it's just gonna be some breaking news. I better check. Let me see what Trump did now. News. Let's just go look at the news. I saw he started shooting and seizing ships on both sides. Pretty fun. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Oh, another game, BT Dubs, another game I'm gonna try. It's an online game called Shell Shockers. Shell Shockers. I played it or a version or a similar game previously, and it was pretty okay. It was alright. Yes, blockade. Alright. Nothing. Nothing. No World War III yet. We we live to die another day. Elder man out.